If you needed another reason to feel negative towards Niantic's newest feature, Party Play, then this bug that was recently discovered within the Go Battle League is definitely going to be that. I'm going to be talking about what this bug is in this video, and what Alright, it's 7:59, and it's 8 o'clock. Yeah, so the Party Up event has just finished. And wow, that was a very bad event. Nothing really too special about it. I feel like a lot of people did not care about the Party Play feature. Maybe there's people out there who actually engaged with it. But yeah, within my local community, it was really hard to find people to party up with. So I was unfortunately not able to complete the timed special research. And then on top of that, I feel like a lot of players were just very much down about this new feature. I've already talked at length about Party Play on my YouTube channel, but today I wanted to talk about an issue that was recently reported on the Silk Road Reddit, where people who are engaging in a completely unrelated gameplay mode, which is PvP, are experiencing a bug ever since the release of Party Play. And yes, this bug is causing them to lose a lot of matches. Now, I've been grinding out to get Legend rank for the last part of this season, and I personally have not come across this bug. At least I was not aware of this bug, and maybe it's because I did not engage in Party Play. But what is the bug that I'm talking about? Well, apparently when you are in a match with another player, there is a chance that you will experience a big game-breaking freeze that will prevent you from actually completing the match. Regardless if you are winning or losing, you will not be able to interact with the game when this bug happens, and you will need to essentially refresh the game. And that will ultimately result in that match being lost. This is a very bad issue, and it's definitely going to prevent some players from hitting the ranks that they want to hit before the season ends. This is something that I feel like Niantic needs to address almost immediately. There's going to be a lot of players who are going to be incredibly frustrated, and there's going to be a lot of resources that will be lost as well. In case you didn't know, at the end of a PvP season, you get a substantial Stardust reward depending on your rank. And if you can't hit those higher ranks because of this one issue, then you're going to be losing out on a ton of Stardust. But how is this issue related to Party Play? Well, we really cannot say that it is directly correlated with Party Play. However, this bug started to happen upon the release of Party Play, so you know there's something in the backend code that is related to this issue. I really do not know what the issue could be, but apparently if you engaged in Party Play in some form or another, chances are you will come across this bug the next time you PvP. And maybe the reason why I didn't experience this issue is because I did not engage with Party Play. And it goes without saying that this is a really bad look for Pokémon GO, especially when it comes to their new features. Like I've said in previous videos, it seems like anytime Niantic releases something new in Pokémon GO, it is accompanied by a plethora of different bugs and glitches. Most of them are game breaking, and this is just something that needs to stop happening. Honestly, if Niantic wants people to engage in Party Play and they want people to enjoy their new features, well, they gotta make sure these sort of bugs do not happen. Again, I've said this so many times on my YouTube channel, but it does bear repeating. If Niantic wants to release new features and new things in Pokemon Go, there needs to be a lot of QA testing that needs to happen before those features get released. It's just a common occurrence that there's so many bugs and issues with every new feature, and it's become a meme at this point where people in New Zealand are constantly experiencing bugs and issues before the rest of the world. And that is of course because they are the time zone where most of the features get released firsthand. Yeah, I really do not know what's going on over at Niantic, but this is just one example of so many different problems with 2023. It just seems like Niantic is trying to release so many new features to get players involved once again, when all they have to do is just iterate on the current available features. Like, instead of releasing Party Play and routes and maybe even Pokestop showcases, what would have been much better is if they just iterated on the current gameplay that was available before all of these features, like raiding and Team Go Rocket battles, as well as PvP. That would have been a much better way to go about it, but instead, Niantic is rushing out new features constantly, and I really do think it's a big detriment to Pokemon Go as a whole. My concern for 2024 is that they're just going to be continuing this trend of releasing a bunch of rushed and unpolished features, and it's going to create a lot of game-breaking bugs and issues with other areas of Pokemon Go that are completely unrelated. Like, there's just so many problems with the game right now, and rather than releasing new stuff, they need to fix what's currently there. And I really do think this is a bad precedent for Pokemon Go. I think Niantic's reputation in 2023 has been really bad. Like, ever since they nerfed remote raiding, like, the community sentiment has just been so negative. And in order to repair that relationship with the Pokemon Go community, instead of releasing new features, they need to fix what's already there. They need to stop focusing on new features that nobody is asking for, and working on the things that players are asking for, which is a better raiding experience and a much better PvP experience. I just don't think rushing out so many new features constantly is the right way to go with Pokemon Go. Maybe you can add one feature per year or per season, and that could be the way to go. But I really do think there needs to be a lot more polish, and there needs to be a lot more thought into a lot of things that are being added into Pokemon Go. Because as of right now, Pokemon Go players haven't been happy for the longest time. I mean, for crying out loud, one of the biggest Pokemon Go YouTubers, if not the biggest Pokemon Go YouTuber, recently put out a video talking about how bored he was of Pokemon Go.
I have a bit of a problem. Pokemon Go has been pretty boring for me lately.
Considering that there's so many new features in Pokemon Go, you would think that there's something for players to do. But because Niantic hasn't really polished these features, there hasn't been a lot of excitement around a lot of these features. And instead, they've been finding that a lot of their gameplay that they are engaging in is getting hindered because of these new features. This is a pattern that is very unhealthy for Pokemon Go. Overall, ever since Niantic nerfed remote raiding, the sentiment has continuously gone downhill. So hopefully 2024 is going to be a year where they bounce back, but we'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, I would avoid doing any kind of PvP if you've done party play recently. And yeah, hopefully Niantic can fix this bug because it's definitely a big problem. But in any case, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I would love to know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below. Are you someone who has experienced this bug firsthand, or are you someone who doesn't even PvP? And what do you think about party play and some of these new features? That has been a big topic of discussion on my YouTube channel, and I want to continuously gauge where the community is standing regarding these new features. Definitely share those thoughts down below, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. If you ended up enjoying it and found it to be informative, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support my channel in any way, big or small, then make sure you go and check out the links in the description below. For all my patrons, they get a permanent spot on my in-game friends list. And if you want to interact with me in some way within Pokemon Go, like with remote raids or the friendship system, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. Also, if you want to support my channel non-monetarily, you could always do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula, and I'm on the following platforms. Alright, and that's going to be it. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.